This is one of the finest medieval buildings in the UK, and it has strong ties to America. Find out how they're connected and, of course, where we are in just a moment. Today, our house hunting duo are looking for a country pad that will bring them closer to family and friends.
What a view!
You get the view.
It's lovely.
And there's a bit of excitement along the way.
I feel quite emotional. Oh, gotta do a dance.
Today I'm in Gloucestershire and behind me is Gloucester Cathedral. Celebrated for its fan-vaulted roof and Gothic architecture, it's also famed for a choir boy, John Stafford Smith. He wrote a well-known drinking song for a London social club. For some reason, it gained popularity during the American Civil War, when it was paired with the lyrics of a patriotic poem before being renamed the Star-Spangled Banner. Adopted as the American national anthem in 1931, it's just one of the many stars from this beautiful county. Gloucestershire lies to the southwest of England and shares its boundaries with 7 other counties, including Wiltshire and Oxfordshire, as well as the Welsh county of Monmouthshire. Home to acres of established woodland, Gloucestershire was once the hunting ground for Norman kings, in particular the leafy depths of the Forest of Dean. With some 20 million trees, today this forest is celebrated as England's largest oak woodland. Countryside accounts for around 90% of the Gloucestershire landscape, and over half of the county is designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty, into which sit perfectly preserved historic villages. And aside from outstanding villages, Tewkesbury in the north of Gloucestershire is a historic town with over 200 listed buildings. But the main attraction is the cathedral-sized abbey, founded back in 1087. It's one of the largest and grandest parish churches in the country that has been a sacred haven to many people over countless centuries. With so much on offer in this lovely county, it will probably come as no surprise when I tell you that those wishing to move here are going to have to dig a little deeper into their pockets. The average price of a detached house here in Gloucestershire is £308,000, £30,000 above the national average. And with house prices up 12% on last year, those looking to relocate should probably do it sooner rather than later. So let's go meet today's couple and find out what draws them to this lovely place. It was as an uninvited guest that retired agronomist Rick first set eyes on his wife-to-be, Sue.
We got together when you great crashed my party.
So we've been together now for 40-odd years.
We've been married 44.
And for the past 2 decades, Sue and Rick have been based in the Yorkshire town of Harrogate, along with their pet dog, Minnie. Home is a modern 4-bedroomed 1980s property that they recently spent 2 years renovating.
We live in the Dutchy area of Harrogate, which is strongly residential, one of the older parts of Harrogate. It's getting more and more congested, so lots of cars, lots of parking problems. Originally, we moved up here for a job, which, seeing as we're both retired, we're free agents now. We can go where we like.
But the plan is to head south.
Our daughter has just settled and is running a business in Wales, so we're fairly confident that she's going to sort of not be moving around. It would be so nice to be a lot closer.
Sadly, a family tragedy makes relocating to within close proximity of their daughter one of the main drivers for the move.
We had 2 children. Sadly, we lost our son 5 years ago. So our family now is our daughter and her family, which is a lovely little new grandson, well, 18 months, Milo, who is half Welsh, and yeah, lives a long way away.
Yeah. My mother lives on the south coast of Devon, which again is about 6 hours drive from here. So between those two, we're clocking way too many miles in the car.
Yeah, we're keeping the petrol industry afloat, aren't we?
Certainly are, even though it's a diesel car.
Yeah.
As previous residents of Bristol, they've chosen Gloucestershire as the right place within easy reach of their family, as well as old acquaintances. And they'd love a location that allows them to make new friends and indulge in their hobbies, as well as find new ones.
I hope to join new societies, perhaps do a few classes, needlework classes, perhaps learn how to do things properly at last. It's never too late.
I'm pretty active. I play racquetball 2 or 3 times a week. I do a lot of walking, not just with the dog, but distance walking as well. Do DIY.
Sail, ski.
Sail, ski, and...
He's Action Man, really.
An energetic and positive couple, they've already secured a buyer for their Harrogate home and are wholeheartedly welcoming a new chapter in Gloucestershire.
A lot of people don't like change, but I embrace change. I love it.
Yes, you're always much more positive about change than
You're
than
more
I
set
am.
in your ways, aren't
I'm
you?
more set in my ways, but it's inevitable that we move from here. So the sooner we get on with it, the better it will be. This will probably be our last move, so we need to make sure that we've got it right.
Ideally, Rick and Sue are looking to be within an hour and a half of their daughter and grandson in Swansea, southwest Wales. So we're focusing the house hunt in Gloucestershire's rural villages in the southern portion of the county, within easy reach of good road links. But to really get to grips with what this couple are after in their new home, I'm meeting up with them face to face in their chosen county. So what is it about Gloucestershire that appeals to the two of you?
Oh, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. The scenery, the rolling hills, it's so pretty.
And it's an area that we know quite well,
Yes.
too, because we came from Bristol before we went up to Yorkshire. Old stomping grounds, really.
Yeah.
Which is always good, isn't it, if you're starting somewhere else, to have those connections
Absolutely.
there already. Well, let's talk about the property.
Okay.
When you envisaged this property in your mind, what do you see?
A really welcoming family home, practical for children and dogs. Nice big kitchen I can spend days in. Certainly a study would be essential for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, although, I mean, we've never been terribly good with very small rooms, have we?
No.
And do you have any strong ideas on garden?
Flat or not on a slope would be great. We don't want enormous, do we?
Yes, we don't want a small holding, but a reasonable sized garden, some play areas for me.
Yes.
That sounds intriguing. Do you want to expand on that?
Garage, man shed, yes.
Yes.
Is there anything on that list that you feel you could compromise on?
I'm sure we could compromise.
Absolutely. We've never yet bought a house that has fitted a specification, if you like. We've always just walked into one and thought, oh yes,
This is it.
this is it.
We'll get that next time.
That's music to my ears. That's absolutely perfect. Can you remind me what the budget is for this move?
The budget for this move is £650,000.
OK. Is there any wiggle room on it? If we find the great house, can we push it slightly?
Can always squeeze a bit more.
So have you looked at any properties in the area yet?
We haven't looked at all.
So this is quite exciting, because this is
amazingly exciting.
Absolutely.
Well, shall we see if we can find you that perfect property?
Yes, please.
Come on then.
Come on.
For a budget of £650,000, Rick and Sue are after a spacious family home that should have a large sociable kitchen diner, a separate study, and a flat sunny garden with man space, like a garage or shed. The location needs to be well connected for easy access to their daughter and grandson. And although open-minded about the property style, they're hoping to find somewhere in a lively, pretty village with a few amenities to hand. We have a fine selection of Gloucestershire properties to serve up, but I'll be keeping the price a hush-hush until we've had a good look around first. Then to finish up our tour, we're presenting the Mystery House, which may not be on the straight and narrow in terms of the wish list, but I'll do my level best to get our buyers on side. For our first stop, we're travelling about 2 miles south of Stroud to the small village of Amberley, about an hour and 3/4 drive from Swansea. Surrounded by 600 acres of National Trust land, Amberley is a particularly peaceful place, so much so that cattle roam freely through the village. There's a good range of amenities to hand, including a post office, convenience store, village church and 2 pubs, one of which is right opposite our first house.
So, this is a property that I wanted to show you. And you'll see there's a lot going on with the roof lines.
Yes.
Because the first part of it, which is here on the right, was built in 1731, so it's got a lot of history.
OK.
It was extended in the 70s and then extended again about 10 years ago.
Looks promising to me.
Yes, it's nice and symmetrical and lovely stone, so looks promising.
I'm putting this theory that you've never actually bought the house you went looking for the test with this
Never
one.
ever, no.
Let's go and have a look.
This 18th century property with its period charm should appeal to Sue and Rick's taste. And inside, I'm confident the open plan layout will also get the thumbs up.
So here we are.
Whoa.
And we're straight into this very nice, big, open living space.
Lovely.
Yes, you're smiling.
Yes.
And you haven't even spotted that huge open fireplace around there
Okay.
yet.
Very nice. It's lovely.
What I think is quite interesting about the layout here is that as it's been added on, there's now a really nice split level area here,
Okay.
which goes up to a secondary area. It's got another fireplace and it's used as a dining room at the moment, but you could use it as another sitting room.
Sounding very
There's also
good.
a study up there as well.
Really?
Yes. So, what are your thoughts in here? Could you imagine yourselves
Yes.
in something like this?
Very
think so.
happy,
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
That's a really good start. I'm very happy. Shall we go and look at the kitchen?
Yes, please.
It's not the big kitchen that you had talked about.
No.
Potentially. But I think it has a nice feel to it. It's nice and light.
It's nice, it's attractive, it's clean lines.
So this is the part that's from 1731, and actually over in the living room is the original deed of covenant of the house, which is quite a nice touch that they still have
Okay,
that.
right.
So this is the oldest part, but I do think there is potential here. You've got a fantastic boot room, back doors, and you're not having to bring the dogs in straight
Brilliant.
into the living
Yeah.
room. You've got plenty of room in there for your coat, your wellies. Let's face it, you're going to need it living somewhere like this because you'll be out walking all the time.
Definitely.
Now, beyond the kitchen is a fairly big pantry.
Right.
And then beyond the pantry is a very big laundry room space.
OK. The size of this is slightly disappointing, but if the house is as nice as the first room and there's potential, that sounds very promising.
It looks absolutely fine to me. It's more with what Sue considers to be the kitchen. I'm more interested in what comes out of it.
You can sit at the breakfast bar, eat the cakes and watch the cows wandering by the window.
Very
Absolutely,
nice.
yes.
That's all right,
Can't
isn't
get
it?
better than that, can you?
I can stand that.
OK, well, let's take a look upstairs.
OK.
Sue and Rick seem enthusiastic about the ground floor layout of our first house, so let's hope the momentum keeps going upstairs, where there are 4 bedrooms that lie alongside the family bathroom. All the 3 bedrooms are doubles, one with a basin, another with built-in wardrobes, and a third which is beautifully bright. Lastly, another bright room overlooking the rear of the property.
Going to go down a couple of steps into one of the 4 bedrooms, and this is the master bedroom.
OK.
Again, it's in the older part of the house.
Yeah.
And as you can see, you get...
Oh, wow, what a view.
So you can sit in bed with your cup of tea,
Yeah.
the papers, and that's...
What a view.
You get the view.
It's lovely. Where do you keep your clothes?
The door behind you actually goes up to a sort of secondary, smaller room, which is kitted out as almost a walk-in wardrobe, which is above this.
Really?
Yes.
OK.
And there's also an ensuite just over there.
Right.
So how would you
really nice.
describe this room?
Well, it's nice, it's light and airy, and it's... Gosh, it's got a view.
You're really making me smile, you know.
lovely.
I'm delighted that it's all going to plan so far inside, but there's more to explore outside. Let's see if we can deliver there as well. An attached single garage lies to one side of the property, and the garden wraps itself from the other side around to the back and features gravelled areas, patios with potted plants, as well as a compact lawn.
Rick, how does the size of the garden strike you?
It certainly could be a little bit bigger, but there was always going to be a compromise somewhere down the line. It could fit the bill.
Yeah.
What do you think this property is on the market for?
Right.
I'm going to go for 620,000.
I think it's probably on budget at 650.
OK, it was on the market for £595,000 a few months ago.
Right.
It's currently on the market for £575,000. How does
Very
that make you feel?
interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Off you go, have another look around the house. Why don't you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
A pleasant surprise, under budget by £75,000. This charming property is an extended, detached 4-bedroom home featuring a master ensuite, sizable open-plan living area, 2 further reception rooms and a manageable garden, but big enough for the dog. And the whole lot lies at the heart of a beautiful Cotswold village.
I could easily see myself living here. The outside space is probably not as big as I would have liked. It's a single garage rather than a double garage. So it would require a compromise to move here, but it's a possibility. It takes a bit of thinking about.
It's a house that flows, which was just such a relief, but slightly tempered by a bit of a disappointment going into the kitchen, which, although is very nice, it's not what I would have chosen. There are lots of positives about the house that I like, that I would want to explore what we could do. And I'd be very keen for a second viewing if there are a few things we can change.
So I think we may be ending the day on quite a positive note.
I think we might.
Yes, I think that's got possibilities.
Brilliant. I think we deserve a drink. And guess
right.
what? There's a pub just over there. Shall we go and try it out? Perfect.
Why not?
See what your potential local could be like.
Creative Sue is keen to continue pursuing her interest in arts and crafts when she moves, so we've arranged for her and Rick to visit Stroud, a town once known for its cloth and wool production. They're meeting Liz Lippiat at her town centre studio. She's been a silkscreen printer for 30 years and creates her own designs, which she sells locally as cushions, scarves and clothing.
So, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Liz, what are your major influences for your work?
I live in the countryside, so I'm inspired by the great beauty of the countryside around me. My favourite design is the hair, the running hair. It's full of energy, and this design means a lot to me.
Liz's hair design is hand-printed on Scottish linen, but she also creates designs within the very fibres of fabrics too.
This is my Devorer fabric. Devorer is a French word, devour. It's burning away part of the velvet. So in order to make Devorer work, you have to use a mixed fibre cloth. And this cloth is made of rayon, which is made from wood pulp. It's a cellulose fibre, and silk.
This art form originated in 17th century France, and transforming fabric into Devorer is a long and skilled process. It can take Liz as long as 3 days from start to end product, but today she's going to show Sue and Rick how to make a design on silk velvet in just 3 hours. The first step is to make a stencil cut from iron-on paper.
That's pretty. Do you want to swap?
No, I want to see you cut that out.
They're both cutting out intricate leaf patterns, which will be placed on the screen.
Oh, wow, Sue, that looks lovely. Well done.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. I think these are so pretty that actually they would look rather good as a floating design.
Okay.
That means we're going to Devorer the whole of the background, and this will be the left as the velvet.
Right.
So the next thing is to iron the sticky paper onto the screen so that we can print through and it'll stay in place. So all we're going to do is dab it on. So we just lightly press to stick it in place.
A bit of couture protection, and it's time for the fun bit. The screen with Rick's design attached is placed on top of a square of white velvet. The paste is a seaweed gum carrying an acid which will eat the rayon fibres in the velvet. And with every stroke of the squeegee, the paste is pushed through the mesh and onto the silk velvet fabric below.
That's it. Stop short and put it back.
Yeah.
It's a clear paste, but you can see where it's printed. So the next stage is to bake the Devorer paste. So now we're going to carbonise the fibres. So you can see we're slowly toasting, carbonising the Devorer paste and revealing your pattern.
The fibres that have come into contact with the paste will disintegrate, leaving the transparent silk mesh.
Now you can see all the fibres just crumbling away.
Yeah.
So instead of scratching it, we're going to just wash it off.
Do you squeeze it out or not?
Yeah, you
It's
can
not
do.
too fragile.
No. Ta-da. Lovely. So the last stage is the dyeing process. So we've got the wet fat fibres, and we're going to put it into the dye bath, into the warm dye, and keep the whole thing agitated, because it's the movement that stops it dyeing it in a patchy way.
And after 20 minutes of stirring, the blue and green dye has penetrated every fibre of the fabric and it's ready to take out.
This is so exciting.
I think I've got both of them. Yeah.
A rinse and a squeeze before the fabric's iron dry, which will reveal its true colours.
That's like magic, isn't it?
Yeah. See what it's finished? That's fantastic.
Pretty, isn't it lovely? That's gorgeous.
There you go.
That's lovely. That's so fascinating. Thank you very much for showing us that.
Thank you very much indeed.
It's a great pleasure. Well done, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the second day of our house hunting tour around Gloucestershire in search of a country escape for Sue and Rick from Harrogate. They've got a healthy budget of £650,000 to spend on a spacious pad with a great garden. Coming up, are things going to go downhill when our mystery house is revealed?
I can see you looking up there. It's not flat.
And I'll be getting my adrenaline fix behind the wheel.
This is fantastic. This is the most fun I've had in a morning in a very long time.
For our next property stop, we're taking our buyers out of Gloucestershire, away from the quiet of the Cotswolds landscape, and to familiar territory in the rural outskirts of Bristol. Our destination is the conservation area of Siston Hamlet, which has a journey time of an hour and a half to family in Swansea. Just over a mile away from Siston, Pucklechurch is the nearest village, which has a shop, tea room, newsagent and a choice of 3 pubs. Back in Siston, the next property we've lined up isn't a cottage, but it does have rather a noble pedigree.
Ooh. If we talk about a house having curb appeal, I think it's fair to say that this one has definitely got that. It's part of the Grade 1 listed Tudor mansion, Syston Manor.
Grade 1?
Yes, Grade 1. This has got a Grade 2 listing. This was the gardener's cottage.
Goodness me.
Right.
Lucky gardener. This is the garden here for the property. It's all here at the front.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a good size. It's flat.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I could work with that.
You also have a separate outbuilding, a kind of large, detached old barn. It's big. It could, a garage, storage, so you've got that as well to go
okay.
at.
Right.
That's good to know.
That is interesting. Yeah.
OK, well, we've seen the outside of your castle.
Yes.
Would you like to see?
Oh, yes.
Or your
Yes.
manor? Do you want to see inside?
Haven't looked around a castle before.
Constructed with blue lyre stone, it's thought this handsome property was built in 1830, but inside the accommodation is very much up to date and on trend. An impressive and original front door takes you into a grand hallway, off which is a contemporary downstairs bathroom and the smaller of 2 living rooms.
We've passed through the room the family that own this house referred to as the snug, with its little log burner, into this room, which is the main family room, the entertaining space. What are your first
This is
thoughts?
lovely. And to have 2 spaces, nice to have somewhere away from the telly that you can be, and then a tully and a snug prac, so it's not dominating. Wonderful. I love it.
I have a feeling that you are going to like the kitchen.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
A second, larger hallway lies on the other side of the property, with an office in the alcove under the stairs.
Watch the step down. And here we have...
This is more like it.
You said you wanted a big kitchen.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is feeling
Ticking some
wonderful.
boxes.
What do you think?
Yeah, this is good space.
Now then, where can I put the table? Yep, exactly there.
I bet you want to take a closer look at what's going on down at the cooking end,
Oh,
don't
yes,
you?
please.
Shall we wander down? It's got a lovely range.
What a lovely space. How well done is this? It's lovely. I feel quite emotional. Oh, I'm going to do a dance.
Is that a happy dance?
It's
you got a tear in your eye?
No, of course not. It's super.
Really nice, really nice space.
Well, there's more to show you. Let's go and check out the bedrooms.
Brilliant.
You can't ask for a better reaction than one which touches the heart, and this fabulous property seems to be doing just that. I'm leading Sue and Rick back to the hallway and upstairs to explore the first floor. There are 4 bedrooms in total, but one of them has such high ceilings that the space comfortably fits a mezzanine level that creates a 5th sleeping space or study area. There's also another roomy bright double, and the smallest bedroom features one of the stunning Gothic windows. These bedrooms all make use of a smart family shower room, and that just leaves the room with Rick and Sue's name on it.
So this is the room currently used as the master bedroom.
Right.
It has an ensuite, very nicely finished.
Okay.
So there's a really good-sized walk-in wardrobe that's all railed out for the clothes.
Oh, perfect.
There's a lot of wow factor in this house downstairs.
Yes.
What do you feel about the bedroom?
I mean, we don't have very much in the way of bedroom furniture.
Well, virtually none. Yeah,
So-
because we're totally built in, so we don't necessarily need big rooms up here.
Well, there is still one extra room downstairs that I haven't shown you yet that I'm quite keen for you to have a look at.
Right.
And I also need you to start putting your mind to the price, to how much this house is on the market for.
Yes, I'm worried.
My lips are sealed. Now, let's go and look downstairs again.
OK.
This property has already delivered way above expectation, yet there's more to take in. We're weaving our way back down to the ground floor, through the dining room and out into the last of the reception rooms.
So I've been saving this room, which is it's a beautiful sunroom. It's a fairly recent addition to the property, and you get the view over the garden and the fields. It's bright and airy.
It's amazing.
It's got a log burner. No,
I'm speechless. I really am speechless.
I'm quite intrigued to find out from you both what you think this property is on the market for. Sue?
This has got to be top end of our budget or above. I'm going to go for an optimistic 650.
OK. And Rick, what about you?
I'd go for 630.
OK. I'm afraid it's over budget. It was on the market earlier this year for £825,000. It has been reduced to £695,000. Now, you did say to me there was some wiggle room in your budget. What do you think of that?
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes,
Interesting reduction.
absolutely. No, we need to think about it, look at the rest, and I wouldn't rule it out yet.
Why don't you go and explore the rest of the house? I know it sparked an interest in you.
Yeah.
Go and ponder on the wiggle room.
Yes,
See what you
definitely.
think.
OK.
All right,
Thank you.
I'll catch up with you.
Jumping over budget by £45,000, this property is an exceptional Grade 2 listed historic home. Beautifully renovated, it boasts 3 reception rooms, a huge open-plan kitchen and dining room, 4 bedrooms and a low-maintenance level garden.
When I walked through the door, there was a surprising change from a somewhat formidable exterior to a really homely feel inside the house.
If the location works and Rick's happy with his man space outside, I would be very interested in exploring further and coming back again. I can imagine us living here.
So did the inside live up to that very handsome exterior?
Absolutely. It's lovely.
How are you both feeling now you've had a good look around?
Optimistic.
Yes.
Yes, definitely a
Interesting.
contender.
Yeah.
It's good to see you with a smile on your face, both of you.
It's nice to have one.
Come on, let's head off.
When we started this journey with Rick and Sue to help them find their dream home, they really gave me a blank canvas to work from. However, after yesterday, I think they've got a firmer idea of what they're looking for than they're letting on. But one thing I do believe is that they're open to compromise. And today's mystery house, with its, shall we say, steep garden, will really put that theory to the test. But I do believe if they're willing to be flexible, this could prove to be the house that they're looking for. For our final property, we're travelling back into Gloucestershire proper to the village of Sheepscombe. Sheepscombe is located at the bottom of a steep green valley covered in woodland. The village is well serviced with a pub, a village hall, post office and a church. And on the edge of the village is our mystery house.
So this is what I brought you to see. This very charming Cotswold stone cottage dates back to 1880. It's been beautifully renovated inside and out by its current owners, so it really is stunning to look at. If you've noticed behind you, it's an annex.
Okay.
So it's a one-bedroom annex with a separate bathroom. Is that interesting?
Yes, it would probably be very useful for visitors.
I can see you looking up there. It's not flat. No. This is the mystery house, and it's the mystery house for a reason. We have to throw a curveball in somewhere. It isn't flat, as you've noticed. It has a stepped garden. Having said that, it's been beautifully planned out and designed. One thing I should also tell you is that it comes with an acre of land. So there is a plot of land just down below there that they use for extra parking. They've got a thriving veggie garden already on that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Should we take a look inside?
Yes, please.
Come on.
This 19th century stone cottage is semi-detached, and it may not sit on level ground, but hopefully that won't be a concern once our buyers step inside. And we're starting in the kitchen.
I always feel a kitchen should be the heart of the house, and it really does feel like this with this one.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
It's got that cosy feel, hasn't it?
Yes.
And it flows down nicely into the sitting room, which is down here.
It's compact, but it doesn't feel too closed in.
Claustrophobic, no.
It's very
Again,
nice.
it's well lit.
But this isn't the only reception room. Back through the kitchen is a beautiful addition to this traditional home, a garden room attached to the outside of the property, making the most of the original stone walls.
It's a lovely room.
Yeah.
Very attractive.
It's currently used as a dining room. I think it's a room you could probably use all year round.
Yeah.
It feels very cosy in winter,
Yes.
with the doors open in summer. How are you feeling at this point? I'm sensing an interest, but I'm not sensing perhaps wow from you.
No, I think it's absolutely charming, and the spaces are lovely. I'm not 100% convinced there's enough living space for us.
Our mystery house isn't quite getting the reactions that I was hoping for, but there's still more to see. On this floor, there's a utility room and a cloakroom. And as we move upstairs, there's a bathroom with the added bonus of a shower and 3 bedrooms laid out over 2 floors. There's a bright double in the eaves of the second floor, another double below it with a striking beamed ceiling, and then there's a master.
So that lovely, quirky, charming nature of the downstairs is carried on up here.
Very charming. High ceilings, higher than downstairs.
It is. Nice light room. Nice colours.
It's a lovely room.
Well, one of the beautiful things about this room is, of course, that view.
Lovely.
But you get the view because we're on a hill, and the hill means you've got that sloping garden, which I know you were concerned about.
Yes.
Should we just go and have a really good look at it, and let's take a look at how manageable it may or may not be?
I think we'd have to.
The gardens here may not be flat, but they are stunning. Landscape with paths, steps, terraces and vistas. There's also a garage below the annex, which could serve well as Rick's man space.
And here we are at the top of the sloping garden. But look, that's what you get. You get that spectacular view.
Yep.
Wow. It's
Stunning.
lovely.
You could while away a few hours up here.
Wouldn't get anything done.
I'm going to ask you to take a guess at what you think the property is on the market for.
Well, stunning location, beautiful Cotswold village, views to die for. The cottage is on the small side, but it has the annex and the land. So I'm going to go for 600,000.
Rick?
I'll go slightly above, 625.
OK, I'm afraid you're both off the mark. You did mention the land, and because it has that acre of land in this part of the country, it's over budget.
Really?
It's on the market at £675,000, and it's not been on that long either.
No.
Does that surprise you?
It does, yes. Yeah. Yes, it does.
Go off and have a look, explore, and I'll come and meet you in a little while.
OK.
OK, thanks.
This gorgeous cottage is on the market £25,000 over Sue and Rick's agreed budget, but there is the option of selling the extra acre of land to reduce the cost. It's got the welcoming feel they were after and a lovely, sociable kitchen. The annex brings the bedrooms to 4, meaning space to accommodate family and friends. And although the garden may not be flat, there's plenty of it.
Oh, mind your head. Oh, this is above the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you've got a bedroom, you've got the
little ensuite.
little ensuite.
Charming.
It is, it's lovely.
The mystery house has been quite a revelation because the house is very charming. I don't feel it's quite large enough for dimensions for us to make it work. And the garden is just wonderful, but on so many terraces, so many steps, I couldn't contemplate getting old here.
When I first saw the mystery house, I thought, levels, steep, stairs. This is going to be very difficult for Sue.
I hoped not to like the house. So I love the house too, but I'm quite glad it's too small because I would struggle.
It's very cute in there, isn't it?
It's great for hobbies.
Very fun. Well, that was the last house I had to show you. The mystery house ends the search.
Okay.
I think it's time we just went and we had a drink, we have a chat, and just see what you're feeling about everything.
Sounds good.
Come on.
Gloucestershire is bursting with beautiful scenery, and in the southeast of the county is the Cotswold Water Park, a peaceful 40-square-mile area of countryside with 150 lakes. It's a wildlife haven. But in one corner of it, there's a less tranquil 20 acres, which is home to an exciting adrenaline sport, rally driving. Like in motor racing, rally drivers aim to go faster than their opponents. But unlike motor racing, which mainly takes place on a tarmac circuit, rallying can happen on any surface: gravel, forests, even snow. I've come to meet Andy Gwynn, who's owned this rally school for 20 years.
Hi, Andy.
You right?
Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Well, I know I'm in the hands of a seasoned pro today, so tell me about your rallying experiences.
as a kid with a family, going out and watch rallies, just really sort of like admiring all the drivers from all over the world and wanting to be like it. Like, I think everyone that sort of like likes that sort of sport, really.
So what are you going to teach me today, Andy?
Just really the starting basics of driving a rally car, the balance, how you feel, how you position the car in the corner, just how to make the car slide around in your favour, basically.
Can't wait.
Rally driving dates back to 1894 in France, when an event took place between two cities, and the vehicles were horseless carriages. Today, rally cars are modified road vehicles.
So one of these.
Safety is paramount, and every rally car has safety modifications too, like a roll cage and fire extinguisher system. And unlike in motor racing, in rallying you always have a co-driver who's there to navigate and keep track of time. I'm not sure how much use I'll be, but here we go.
So come on, talk me through it.
Okay. Really all about turn into the corner, off the gas, that makes the car turn in, off the gas again, back on the gas to straighten the car out.
Okay.
Andy's showing me a manoeuvre called the Scandinavian flick, which allows the car to turn at speed, slingshotting itself around the corner.
This is what the flick's all about. One way, then the other. Back on the gas, straightens up. Back off the gas, there it goes.
You can literally feel the car sliding through, can't you?
It is a balance thing.
The handbrake is used extensively in rallying, which makes the car slide and change direction at speed. This kind of driving is strictly not for public roads and should only happen under the supervision of an expert.
Nice use of the handbrake there, Andy. Good handbrake. Just off the gas, into the corner.
Off the gas into the corner.
And then as you hit the corner, back on the gas to power through.
That's it.
It sounds perfect in theory. What can go wrong?
Well, I'm about to find out. Andy's putting his trust in me and allowing me to take the wheel.
Oh, wow. Andy, that was fantastic. I can't wait to have a go, I've got to say. Am I being too gentle? Woo!
So,
Nice, get a
yeah,
bit
got
more
a little bit of
speed.
gas, a little bit of gas. That's
Off
it,
gas.
he's off. Gas, that's good.
Oh, that felt really nice. That felt really good. I could really feel the slide. And I bet I'm going really slowly, aren't I?
No, you're doing really well.
Because I feel like I'm going about 15 miles an hour.
It might feel like 15, but I'm actually reaching a slightly more impressive 50 miles an hour.
Whoa!
No, you got it, you got it.
This is fantastic. This is the most fun I've had in the morning in a very long time.
Back to the pits, and sadly, the fun's over.
Andy, thank you. That was so much fun.
Good.
I'm really sorry about the state of your car. Who would have thought that in the middle of the peaceful Cotswolds you could have so much high-octane fun? It was brilliant. Well, Rick and Sue have seen all the properties that I had to show them, and there's been some mixed emotions, so I'm looking forward to hearing their thoughts and finding out what their next move is. Well, you two, when we started off looking at properties, you were very flexible, you were very laid back. So is there a what next with any of the properties that you've seen?
I think we'd be interested in going back to the castle.
I think we would.
Yeah, definitely like another look at that.
It's quite curious for me that your favourite house is the house that isn't in the Chocolate Box Village, and it's by far the largest house.
The house really took our breath away with mine. So, yes, it's a tricky one. It's got to be able to work, I think. The Mystery House was lovely, and not taking into account the size of the rooms, the garden was just not doable for us.
So how are you both feeling at this point, going forward?
I'm very excited by the whole prospect. It's been great to look at properties in the area, and it's concentrated the area for me. I sort of also know that the corridor we're looking in gets ever so hilly, a lot more hilly than I realised in places. Yeah, so looking at the surrounding countryside around here has been brilliant. It's been really so useful.
Well, I'm really excited for the two of you. I think it's fantastic that we've found one property that has sparked such an interest in you. It seems like you've learnt quite a lot about the journey that you're going on, and we do wish you all the best. We hope it goes really well and that you find that dream home so you can be closer to Sarah and to Milo.
Yes, thank you. It's
Thanks
been
very
wonderful. It's been great. Thank you very much.
This is quite a hard search to sum up because while Sue and Rick have found a property and an area they want to explore more, I don't think they've found the dream home that's going to allow them to move closer to their family. But I do think the experience has made them focus more on exactly what it is they want and what they're willing to compromise on, both of which can only be great things for their move. I'll see you next time on Escape to the Country.
Sue and Rick decided the Castle House wasn't situated close enough to local amenities. But the great news is that they had an offer accepted on a 5-bedroom property not far away and have already moved in. If you would like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.